Cellular telephones and pagers. Good night. The Second Amendment right to bear technology. Look at this stuff. No matter how primitive or cumbersome it might be. Goes with the Second Amendment right to, or the Sixth Commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness. Strom Thurmond and I figured that one out together. He said, I'm writing an amendment. Stop. Siri, turn off the alarm. Alarm is disabled. Would you like to restart it? On the table, not under the table. No one should be able to carry more than a backpack full of marijuana on them at any one time. Keep it out of the Sealand vans and the cellophane wrappers. Northbound trailers. Southbound trailers looking for tractors. That's Article 3 word. Are you guys waiting to go in?
We are, sir.
Okay, good. Notice how there's 4 of you. Should I ask why you're here?
Well, we're just waiting to hear the hearing, but it's currently overcrowded.
Sometimes they have an overflow room.
Sorry?
Sometimes they have an overflow room with a closed-circuit TV.
Oh.
Mecca, you got to get an invitation to go that close. In fact, we should invite everyone in the world who wants to come into the United States to a meeting somewhere, neutral. Maybe take a ship and travel along the coasts and have them all come out to meet, and then the next 100 miles down, like Jesus gave sermons along the shoreline. And would the countries let their people come out for the meeting? We'd have to invite the leaders of the country to come and say, let your people come too. Or 3 days of meetings on the USS Care, that ship that, or what? World tour on anyone who ever thought about coming to the U.S. Would you like non-resident dual citizenship status so you get a U.S. passport and travel under the protection of the U.S. Attorney General and military, but you still need a visa to come into the U.S. because you're a non-resident U.S. citizen? dual citizen. You have to be a citizen in good standing in your home country to keep your dual citizenship.
Sorry, there's no sense right now because there's an extra TV screen because someone's trying to video on the extra thing. There's no space for when people start filing out and so forth.
Do you know who the new Director of Homeland Security is yet?
I do not.
Last I knew, there were two main candidates, a New York City police chief and the former U.S. Coast Guard leader. That was about a month ago. Maybe you would think they might have decided by now, because Janet Reno is going to be at the University of California in San Diego or something.
That's right.
Or maybe the head of the whole system, I'm not sure. She'll be mining all those databases to find out who the students are and match them with her Homeland Security connections. The good sneakers are crossers who got into college. Petraeus went out there. He was at the University of California in San Diego as a teacher. And then I read a month later he was now in New York City at New York College as a teacher, so who knows? But we should know, because he's got so many connections after that. He could, leave his bathroom window shade up a certain amount and people know, oh, then they cause something to happen, right? What did you find, Mecca? Cellophane wrapper? You found a cellophane wrapper? This is about human smuggling today, I think. Larry Flint knows about that. We should invite him to testify. Perfect, want the plastic, Mecca.
Too interesting. Everybody going to leave. See you guys later.
God willing, who hopes? See you later. That's how humble the Muslims are. They always remember to say God willing when we predict the future. Yeah, you found the plastic bag. Senator McCain, how are you? I didn't turn far enough to get him in the picture. We were just in Senator McCain's office. Instead of the NSA doing all the spying on people, we could have like 300 million non-resident U.S. citizens, dual U.S. and other nations' citizens, all volunteering information because they're so proud they have a U.S. passport, they're protected by the U.S. Attorney General, and the U.S. Department of Defense, and they'd be paying us instead of us paying NSA to spy on them. 10, 20, 100 a year for their paperwork. A sliding scale. If you can't afford it, sliding scale. All these compassionate stories about non-resident U.S. citizens being extorted or robbed or impoverished and using their U.S. citizenship status to help right the wrong for all their fellow countrymen while staying in good standing in their domestic citizenship. And if the tough guys at home try to arrest them and disappear them, the U.S. inquires after it. That's a U.S. citizen that disappeared. We want to know.
I know.
Then the U.S. Congress, if they get angry enough, too many disappear, they declare war on the other country. And go in and straighten out the mess, and then all the dual citizens be in good standing again. A slave cannot serve two masters. Yeah, well, we're all slaves of the one God, so you can have dual citizenship, but you're under one God. And both countries can compete to be more fair than the other country, see? In Guatemala, I can smoke marijuana under no, in Guatemala I can.
So we're allowed to let that say but you have to wait until you do that. Yes, these three. Yep. Sorry about that.
In Guatemala, I can use my town hall screen name on my driver's license to protect my family, but I can't do that in the U.S. yet, or vice versa. And how about the UN? Maybe they should give, there are UN passports for refugees or something. Should these people trying to get into the U.S. have some recourse with the UN? If you get a UN passport and apply for U.S. residency, you get treated on a, I don't know, like the airlines, you cough up enough info, you get in the fast line to get on the plane, you can avoid the scanner because you do the background check. How about making the border wider instead of an imaginary line, make it a 36-mile wide border, humanitarian corridor, lease land to, 5-acre lease, cost you $1,000 a year, and the border's 2,000 miles long by 36 miles wide, is about 36 square miles, 6 by 6 by, that's 640 acres, 360 acres, 720 acres, 320 acres, 640 acres. That's about sections and townships, 36 townships in a section. So you lease all this land, you got a 36-mile wide border, you turn it into a humanitarian corridor, you lease land to Disney World, to Israel, to McDonald's, to the Church of the Nazarene, all these leases paying you. And the term of the lease is you can have your operation here, east-west traffic is permitted in the corridor, but if anyone sneaks across the border on your lease, you'll lose your land lease, you're out. Your deposit, all the money you paid, you're out. If anyone sneaks across your land.
Could you all hear that video? They did not put it on the PA system.
So instead of pouring billions into to pretend the border, we got people paying us for their 5-acre leases and more.
We'll put it on
All over the world. The India-Pakistan border now is 36 miles wide with a humanitarian corridor established. England leasing land, the UN's leasing land, Disney World, India wants to get in there, China World. Some with sliding scale, so some people that are poor can still get in the humanitarian corridor business. But other areas, open bid, millions of dollars to get a lease inside the humanitarian corridor. Billions of dollars just to get in and have your hotel, Donald Trump, for the humanitarian vacation elite who want to rub elbows with the poor people of the world struggling to walk along the border corridors in between countries to find refuge. People like Sting from the rock band U2 pay $3,000 a night for a hotel room. People like Madonna or who else? Paris Hilton and her followers from Beverly Hills. And then the youth hostels for us, the poor, the middle class people, Joe Biden constituency, who want to walk along the humanitarian corridors between countries. 5 different lanes. You can choose the secular lane like Las Vegas, or the old-fashioned lane like Jerusalem or Mecca or Cumberland, the Appalachian Trail route. Choose the old-fashioned lane with low-tech zoning. And if you're really determined, you can apply to go into the wilderness lane. 12 miles wide of wilderness, Jurassic Park. But you got to be accompanied by a humanitarian corridor ranger or team of rangers to guide you in case anything goes wrong. A world problem becomes a world moneymaker with humanitarian corridors worldwide between countries. 36 miles of paradise. Would you like that, Mecca? Meet the robots and Wild Cell Translate and use your cell phone to talk with anyone and have it translate into bird or dolphin or Afghani or American. What else? Good, Mecca.
And congrats on starting out.
Feels like who wants us to...
Have a nice day.
Have you heard the announcements in the U.S. airports perpetrated, no, that's a loaded word, authorized, scripted, required by the Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs? Let's rewrite the airport announcements to demonstrate U.S. constitutional principles. For example, do not accept any packages or gifts from people you do not know. Call 372-7653 for the airport security or O'Hare police. Instead, if you meet anybody you'd like to hang out with or accept a gift from, please return to the baggage scanner and rescan your bags together so you can be sure about your new friend. This has been a United States constitutional public service announcement. Or any unattended baggage will be searched and may be damaged or destroyed. Please report any unattended bags to airport security. Well, that seems reasonable. How could you possibly rewrite that one? The guy walks off and leaves his bag. You could say any unattended baggage will become the property of whoever finds it, or the O'Hare Airport, your choice. Please remain within 6 feet of your baggage at all times. That gives incentive for people to want to look around. Oh, I might end up owning that camera if the guy leaves the bag there. Instead of making it a personal threat on you that your thing will get destroyed or damaged,
One's out.
and what about the poor airport workers? All day at the coffee stand, the salad bar, the gift shop, having to listen to those announcements over and over and over again. Talk about repetitive stress injury. It's mentally cruel. Their dreams can be affected. Thank you for your cooperation. You know, trying to make sure that the Hispanic workers feel loyal to the U.S. When all that information could be part of the ticket sale. It could be written on the ticket. It could be a card that you have to read into the robot for your ticket to become valid. You have to read the announcements off a card through your cell phone into the robot and prove that you've actually read it, instead of bombarding everybody with the white Anglo-Saxon female accountant voice of authority. So in Nashville, they're fair enough. They have different people say the announcement. They'll pick different celebrities. They know how important it is to get your voice on the PA in Nashville. So they let Chris Christopherson say the announcement one time, and then the next time they let Patty Harris say it, or Dolly Parton. And then the next time, Chris would say a different announcement maybe. And they'd let Johnny Cash say that announcement. They rotate voices to give variety. But no, U.S. airports, it's always this one white Anglo-Saxon voice, accountant-style voice of authority that everybody will learn to obey and file their taxes. And no, that's the voice you got to pay attention to. No ethnic intonations at all permitted. And nobody really complains enough at the airport. I mean, if you mention it to the workers, they say, yeah, you know, that is right. I am really sick of, they don't say that out loud, but you can see from their expression, they are so happy that somebody even thought about how often they have to listen to that message.
That way too.
And that's a problem with all our chains of command, and not just Homeland Security. Fort Hood, that psychiatrist there, asked for a dishonorable discharge. He was treating U.S. soldiers who were coming home from the Iraq war zone and suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. His job was to help them reintegrate into American society. He was Iraqi. Part of his job was he knew the people of Iraq, and he could kind of represent that culture and help those guys feel less guilty about having killed and fought and been attacked by his own people. So then one day he gets an order from his chain of command, you're going to be reassigned to Baghdad under combat status. At that point he said, no, these are my relatives in Iraq. I cannot go over to Iraq and pick up a gun and start shooting my own relatives. And they said, no, you're a soldier. We changed your assignment. That's what you got to do. He said, look, I'm willing to work with people and rehabilitate them to get back into American society, use my training and profession, but I won't go over there and kill my own people. He said, you got to. He said, okay, I want a discharge. I want a dishonorable discharge in a non-combat zone. And he told his relatives that's what he wanted, and they wouldn't give it to him. The U.S. military was so mean that when a psychiatrist told them he couldn't shoot his own people, a very sensitive person, a psychiatrist, and he asked for a discharge. He said, I would rather be dishonorably discharged, drummed out of the military. On my record for the rest of my life, I was dishonorably discharged in disgrace than to go back to my country and kill my own people. They said, no, you can't get a discharge. Then he flipped out and killed 27 people. It's this insensitivity of the chain of command. Again, we see it at the Naval Yard shooting last weekend. Right here in Washington, D.C. This guy had been seeing doctors. He said he had been hearing voices. They kind of brushed it under the rug. Be tough, tough it out. No desire to give him an honorable, he got an honorable discharge, I guess, from the reserves, was it? But nonetheless, it's this chain of command that's more into subordinating and controlling than being fair and relatively compassionate. Now, in a combat zone, you gotta be tough. You can't have people getting discharged in a combat zone. No, there's no such thing as a dishonorable discharge in a combat zone. You got to stay in or be court-martialed. But this was a non-combat zone. Same thing at the airports. They're drumming this stuff into people's heads like they were cannon fodder or lower status people. You wouldn't subject your children to listening to these PA announcements all day. It's a repetitive stress injury. But tough, they work at the airport. They can take it. They're getting the money. They couldn't get as good a job anywhere else. They're lucky to even get a job in America today. Let them work at the airport. They can tough it out. Let them listen to the repeated announcements all day. That's our biggest problem. Lack of compassion in our chains of command. And that's why we don't get gun control, because people recognize that immediately. They say, we want our guns. Look at how people get treated in America. It's a tough, Wild West society. On one hand, you get welfare and everybody's fawning over you and worrying about every little thought you've ever had. And on the other hand, you get thrown to the curb. cut off the food stamps, $40 billion. So it's kind of a schizophrenic thing. As women have gotten more and more of the vote, it's gone from guns or butter to guns and butter. So we're $17 trillion in debt.
Okay. The closest one is just over there. It might be around the corner, I'm sure.
See, did I hear this go off? Did I change anything? Am I okay on this? It's a while ago.
Siri not a
Siri, what do I have to do for you to be available? It's 25 minutes. It's okay. See the same kind of lack of compassion in the YouTube copyright rules. Avalanche, send in the helicopters. Mountain Rescue, St. Bernard's. Well, she left for medical reasons, so I guess maybe you're holding her spot in there.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, too. We're huddling, too. Thank you.
Homeland, it's like Rhineland. It's a loaded word. You look in history, and anyone who's ever mentioned the motherland or the homeland has been a really nationalistic, sick society. We've never used the word homeland in the United States until the gang of 2010 got in there. It was always national security or nation this, make it homeland. And we got subprime homeland mortgages and homes. And people invaded America and with the dollar and purchased it out and pushed out the old Americans, and the money people and under the table drug money and the war money bought America, pushed out the middle class. Because the middle class wasn't smart enough to legalize drugs and administer the program through the United States postal system. Saturday delivery by registered mail with doctors. The U.S. Senate gift shop walked by with the green package inside, and who left and said he was out. And this young lady who has been patiently waiting all this time is finally going to have a chance to go in, hopefully. God willing. I can't find the empty chair. Let her stand in the back. Let her stand in the back. Safety is everybody's business. What comes first? Our rights come first. Live free or die, right? Saturday Night Live could do one on new state mottos. Maine, the heroin state. Vermont, the gay marriage state.
Stand by.
Massachusetts, the Obamacare state, or however it would go. You have to come up with 50 new mottos, make it a contest, get the audience to participate. Maybe the Arizona motto would be in Spanish, and the New Mexico. You have to make it funny so people can kind of laugh at the problem and then loosen up to solve it. This is about human trafficking without having invited Larry Flint to testify. Or who else? Peter Guccione is legally dead, I guess. Who else? The New Pornographers is a band. That's actually their name, based on the New Bohemians, I guess. And who else? Los Angeles pornographic industry. And who else? The California marijuana growers should know about the illegal Mexicans growing marijuana in national parks. I wonder if they're doing human trafficking. Every day, all those cars come and go across the border. Wow.
Stand by, Jerry. Please, thank you too.
And what else? Human trafficking. Dual, non-resident, dual U.S. citizen. The care ship off the shore. Human trafficking.
You can catch it online, right?
Yeah.
When will it be posted?
So right now it's on C-SPAN. I'm not sure exactly which one, but
Yeah.
it is broadcasting live. If you want to watch it, it will be posted. My guess is probably within the next day. It'll be on the Homeland Security Committee website. So if you search, Homeland Security and then the name, the human trafficking, it'll probably be posted. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Well, that's what the mafia says, no problem, because they don't want one. We say thank you and you're welcome because you are. College kids like to get a problem, so they know they've learned something. But the mafia did the hard work of building the internet, so we learn their vocabulary. The mafia would sell you some marijuana under the table. You would say thank you. And the mafia would say, no problem, because they didn't want one.
Ready to Tuesday?
How you doing? What's happening?
Is he sleeping?
This is my ADA obesity service animal to help me ride the bicycle. Hi. Beautiful Crayola lavender. Wow.
Are you pressed for staff evacuation?
No.
Okay, right now it's absolutely packed. And so I'm allowed to let some. Oh yeah. Overflow room. No, sorry. So if somebody leaves and they're not coming back, then you're allowed to go and replace them. So the first hearing, the first batch of witnesses or whatever, take probably an hour is my guess. So maybe 15, 20 minutes would be my guess. Again, it's just total speculation. Some of them might come out.
Did it start on time?
Yes, it did. Sorry about that.
That woman did.
I think it's live right now on C-SPAN.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to regroup here.
There was that young lady left for the bathroom earlier, and she hasn't come back. Is her seat available?
She did come back.
Oh, good. I didn't
Yeah.
see that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being so kind as to say thanks.
No problem.
You remember.
Sorry.
Yeah, we all have learned the vocabulary. You'd be good on Saturday Night Live. How to be polite and humorous. Oh, there you are. Here's another person here. Wow, look at you. Way to go. Are you coming back? No? Okay, thank you. Here's another person who left.
Yeah, I know. I'll check to see if there's really the issue is the
Okay.
so we'll see if-
She might want to know now that two have left.
Okay, yeah, good. Thank you very much.
I'll tell her. Come on, Mecca. There's a person left.
Room or now?
So, there's a tiny room. So, when you go in, so, just like, I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. So wherever there appears to be space, you just need to make sure not to block the corner. And also don't block where it says. But my best guess for where they were, is kind of in the back wall, kind of next to the cameras. Yes. Yes, just there.
And then is it gonna break at the second panel?
One's up.
I don't know, Mecca, that she had a lot of backpacks, but maybe there's not enough room for us yet, huh?
That's my uneducated guess, basically. I've heard sometimes roughly it takes an hour to come to the clearing.
And there's usually denominations that are on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm not sure where they're I haven't looked at the material. I'm sorry, I'm an intern at the story.
I know, it's okay. I mean, I'm gonna be on the program, that's why
Oh,
I
okay.
came from something else I thought I'd be able to stay for.
Okay. You mean like where kind of the center is congregated ahead of time?
No, there's a room, there's so many big,
Okay.
partitions that are more than the capacity of the room. There's
Gotcha.
also an outdoor room, which is another room.
If there is one, I have no idea about it. I haven't been told about it.
Yeah, that means that they're not.
So,
I
yeah,
probably didn't expect it.
I don't.
All right,
See,
Yeah, it's Braden. It's Braden.
Hi. How you doing? What's happening?
Braden is the gold.
Welcome to AT&T. Sure, to get you to the right place, I first... Here are the things I can help you with.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To add money to your account,
Take care. Have a
say
nice day.
add money or press 1. Here are here are the things. Here are the things. Here are the things. Here are the things I can... Welcome to AT&T. You're on the $2 daily unlimited talk and text plan. Also, your account...
We're hot on one.
I can do a sign off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
TV's like really.
I understand. I understand.
The number you dialed is not in service.
One, one zone. Three zone. Two zone. One zone. Three zone. Hot on one.
Oh, is he asleep? That's what the border crossing people ask on the bus, I guess. Who trying to sneak across pretending they're asleep? That guy with the cameras came out. Is there room to stand where he was in there?
No, because that was the press table.
Oh,
And we're not allowed to send anyone else at the press table.
I see. Okay, that might make sense.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, hi. This is Bill or Mohammed calling.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. This is Bill or Mohammed calling.
Who called?
Bill or Mohammed. Maybe I have the wrong number.
Yeah, let me get a room up.
Okay, thanks. Oh, okay.
Public Information Office, McKean Turner speaking.
This is Bill or Mohammed calling. I'd like to get a list of the people who have demonstrated at the U.S. Capitol over the past 18 months.
Okay, are you a reporter?
Why should that make a difference?
No, I'm just asking in general.
Well, I'm not sure why there's a need to know, so I'm kind of wondering why you ask.
No, because I'm used to reporters asking, so that's why I was asking if you're a reporter.
I would encourage us to try to help anyone who calls, irregardless of whether they're a reporter or another category.
Right. Okay. So what you can do is if you can send an email requesting this information, and I'll give you the email address.
That's the only way, is by email?
Yes.
One moment, please.
Sure.
Okay, ready.
Okay, it's PIO
PIO
at USCP.
at USCP.
Yes, sir. .gov.
And can I do it by U.S. postal mail also?
You can, but there's a delay. Mail coming to the Hill. It's usually 2 weeks after you send it. So if you need a faster response, the email will be best.
Oh, I can get it in less than 2 weeks then with the email, I can?
Yes.
Okay, great. Anything else you or I might need to know?
That's it. Just all you have to do is just put in a request for it.
Good. Okay, thank you, Who.
You're welcome.
May God accept our efforts.
Oh, thank you.
Ready two?
Bye.
Two's on. Two's on. Ready three? Three's up, all right, two. Ready two? Two's on.
So maybe that makes up for not answering the phone at 10:30.
AT&T 411 info. Say a city and state, or say other services.
Washington, D.C.
Okay, what listing?
CNN.
Ocean Incorporated. Is that right? All right, please hold for an operator. Sorry, checking to Washington, D.C. for CNN.
Yeah, the cable news network. They have 2 offices. I need both numbers, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Sounds like I'm only going to get one of the numbers.
Okay, I'll connect you.
You pay $1, you hardly get $1's worth of service.
You go to campus, break.
How are you? Good, thanks.
Two.
I'm not getting the number faxed to me or messaged to me or something.
Welcome back to AT&T 411 Info. Hold on, and I'll get an operator to assist you. Sorry, how may I help you?
I need a listing for CNN on Independence and also on Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. Last time the guy gave me connected me, the phone didn't answer, I didn't get a text message on what the number is. I need two numbers, please.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. You don't have to connect you back so you weren't charged again. Please open the numbers.
Thanks.
Okay, the first, CNN News Network, 202-554-2138. I'll send all the info now. You can say, repeat. Hang on, and I'll connect you to the first one.
God is greater.
Okay, I'll connect you.
Yeah, how boring is it here, Mecca, huh? Wonder who else would. They're trying too, huh? They probably know a lot of people who know people. What good is a CNN public phone number that doesn't answer? I don't see any message here from. I don't see any way to push the messages to get them to download. What a hell that is, huh? Wow.
Welcome back to AT&T 411 Info. Hold on, and I'll get an operator to assist you. Welcome to 411. Would you like to be reconnected?
I'd like to get to CNN corporate headquarters, please.
And it's in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, please.
Doesn't specify the corporate headquarters. CNN, CNN News Network, or CNN News Source.
CNN News Network, please.
I have three numbers. Would you like all three?
Yeah, I'm not seeming to get any text messages from you guys with these numbers in them, but I'm willing to try to put them into this phone here as you tell me what the number is.
202-488.
488
4325.
4325.
202-863. 4923.
863
4923.
4923. Got it?
And I can connect you to the last number.
Which is
202-554.
55.
2138.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Evan. Okay, CNN News Network at 25 Independence Avenue Southeast.
That didn't answer yet,
554-2138.
right?
I'll send the info now. You can say, repeat, or hang on and I'll connect you. Okay, I'll connect you.
This number hasn't answered all day. It's not answering now. Good, Mecca. Watch your leg there.
Christine, you free now?
I don't think so. Because I'm like 6 points ahead of Lost right now. We have Demarius Thomas playing tonight. I have so many points on the bench.
Yikes.
Jermichael Finley was out in the first quarter. Got concussed.
4923.
I guarantee you do better than me this week.
Three numbers and none of them answer. I would talk to the shareholders stock price committee on that one, man. We're still interested in getting in. Hi. We have to wait for maybe 2 people to come out so we can get in.
AT&T 411 info. To call back your last listing, say connect me. Otherwise, say a city and state.
Washington, D.C.
Okay, more listing.
Roll call newspaper.
Roll call newspaper. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, roll call newspaper at 50 F Street Northwest, 202-824-6800. I'll send the info now. You can say, repeat, or hang on and I'll connect you.
824-6800.
Okay, I'll connect you. information about our news, legislative tracking, and emergency products, press 1. For advertising, sales, and information, press 2. For customer support on any of our products or services, press 3. If you know the 4-digit extension of the party you're trying to reach, press 4. For a dial by name directory of our staff, press 5. If you'd like to speak to an operator, press 0. If you're new to us again, press 0.
Good afternoon. This is William Hale calling. I'm also known as Haji Mohammed Omar. And I'd like to work with the Roll Call publication, perhaps to do an interview about some of the current happenings here on Capitol Hill, especially in regards to First Amendment efforts on the U.S. House of Representatives steps and on the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs, perhaps.
Okay, let me transfer you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Roll call, this is Jason.
Yeah, Jason, this is Bill or Mohammed calling. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Okay, thanks. I'd like to do an interview with Roll Call in regards to my First Amendment efforts here on Capitol Hill. I have videos and stuff of talking on the U.S. House of Representatives steps and finding out some of the new policy of the U.S. Capitol Police who are prohibiting policy-oriented speech on the steps. You can ask a representative, how's the new baby you had, but you can't say, hey, are you guys interested in a treaty with Syria? Because they think one kind is demonstrating and the other kind is social. And they're filtering the kind of speech that we can have on the U.S. House of Representatives steps. You know how you're permitted up to only as far as the chain?
Yeah, and actually, I'm on deadline right now, but if you could send me your contact information, I have a reporter who reports on things of this, specifically what stuff that happens on campus.
Yeah.
And I can get her in contact with you. I'm actually the editor for that, so...
Great. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's my email address is jasondick, it's all one word,
Yeah.
at rollcall.com.
And that's D-I-C-K?
Yes.
Okay, got it, Jason. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye. What an articulate guy. Very efficient. How are we doing here? Bismillahi Mecca. Okay, I guess there's 10 minutes left. Actually, I somehow have missed a change. I may be in deep trouble here. Alhamdulillah, lucky break.